Cinema history is filled with a tantalizing array of abandoned projects, and amid these fascinating what-if scenarios, one unrealized film has haunted horror fans for almost 2 decades: George A. Romero's Resident Evil. The year was 1999. Hollywood was buzzing and ready to jump into the next century. However, it was going through some growing pains. They wanted the next big thing, but that's not where our story starts. Let's rewind to 1996. A company called Biohazard releases a survival horror game unlike any other, called Resident Evil. The game's plot follows Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, members of an elite task force known as STARS, as they investigate the outskirts of Raccoon City following the disappearance of their team members. It was bomb. Gaming audiences were screaming for more, so Capcom delivered. A sequel, Resident Evil 2, was released in 1998, and this is where we pick up our story of George A. Romero's lost treasure. George A. Romero, who put zombie horror on the map with movies like Night of the Living Dead and its sequels, never got to make a film adaptation of the Resident Evil video games. But the celebrated filmmaker did have one interaction with the franchise that we can all look back on today. He directed a commercial for 1998's Resident Evil 2. The commercial looks amazing. It is a tight 30-second spot that showcases what a film version of this world would feel like. And I absolutely love it.
Biohazard 2.
Romero and his crew shot the ad at the Lincoln Heights jail, a decommissioned jail in Los Angeles, and he described the production as being, quote, just like a small motion picture shoot with extras playing the zombies. The zombies' impressive makeup was handled by Screaming Mad George, a special effects artist. In 1999, the year after Romero's Resident Evil 2 ad debuted, Sony Pictures hired him to write and direct a film adaptation of the series. Romero produced a script that was faithful to the story of the original Resident Evil game from 1996, but as you may have guessed, that ended up not happening. The godfather of zombies didn't direct what is arguably the best zombie video game franchise of our time? Madness! Dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria!
Let's get to the bottom of this. As for why Romero didn't get the gig, Capcom producer Yoshiki Okamoto told Electronic Gaming Monthly at the time that, quote, Romero's script wasn't good, so Romero was fired. Well, we have combed through the depths of the internet and found the screenplay. Let's take a look. Okay, that was crazy. It seems like it would have been the perfect piece to play to Romero's strengths. The script was ready to follow the first game, already full of iconic scenes, and would have been stuffed with all the weird creatures and mutants battled in the game. A mutant shark, carnivorous plants out of control, and a horde of the undead ready to scare and thrill theatergoers. The plot of the screenplay is pretty much the first game. Romero wrote his first draft in 6 weeks. Set primarily in the game's eerie Spencer Mansion, the script focused on popular game characters Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. Unlike the version that Paul W.S. Anderson eventually wrote and directed in 2002, Romero's script was faithful to the game's plot. About the film, Romero has said, quote, I'm hoping that it can just be dark and chilling like the game. Good zombies, good makeup, good effects. I've had the advantage doing my zombie films of not having to have them rated. I think for the US release, it's going to have to fall within an R rating because it's going to be an expensive film, and nobody's going to take the chance of letting it go unrated. In a sort of quirk of fate, the box office success of Anderson's film helped reanimate the zombie genre, paving the way in 2005 for Romero to write and direct Land of the Dead, the fourth entry in his Living Dead series. Since then, 2 more movies, Diary of the Dead in 2007 and Survival of the Dead in 2009, have followed. So I guess Romero won after all. Do you know any other horror movies that were never made? Any other movies that were never made that you want us to talk about? Comment below and let us know what you want to see. Thank you for joining us for our second episode of Take Zero. My name is Amy Cassandra Martinez. See you next time.